Assalamu alaikum rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu, my dear friends. May the peace and blessings of God be upon you. This is day 34 of the Quran habit. And if you watched yesterday's episode, you would know that instead of reading a full page in the recording, I am reading just a few verses at a time. And the purpose behind that now is to ensure that I read as well as possible. So in this video, it's kind of like a behind the scenes. I'm going to read through just this one verse once. And then I'm going to work at reading it better and better and better. So this might be a long video because I will demonstrate how hard I work to try to get my recitation spot on. And it's not spot on, which is an important point. I had the blessing of working with a tutor today, mashallah, beautiful Jordanian sister. And she pointed out wonderful things that many of my previous teachers have also pointed out. So for example, when I do the a'udhu and the bismillah, I have to still work on those. There are certain points in those that I do not articulate well. And so that's one. Another is my ghain, the alphabet, the G, what we would say in English G. I don't get the sound quite right. And some of the rules for noon seconds. So there are 4 rules related to when noon is this in letter. Well, that's not like in English we would say in, but like in Arabic it's a cute little semicircle with a dot. So anyways, so there's a hidden noon which occurs, and you know, and so I'm not very good at making that sound yet. In fact, I usually don't make it correctly. So some of the rules when I'm doing them today will still not be correct because I'm literally working at it. I'm constantly working at it. But overall, my reading, Alhamdulillah, is so much better than it was when I started. And I got this message from the app I'm using. It's an online tutoring service, and it noted the number of days that I've been studying Arabic, and it was over 800. And I thought to myself, you know, Alhamdulillah, mashallah, subhanallah, like, that's amazing. And it said that 50% of their students have given up and aren't still going. So this is a commitment, and it's worth the effort. I want to stress this because some people, I have met some Muslims who kind of mock the Arabic language because it's embarrassing, I guess. It can be embarrassing when we have to read like children again, and it can be frustrating when it takes us time, when we feel like, oh wow, I'm just a slow or incompetent. Nobody likes to feel that way. And I had the blessing of getting to teach my own children how to read, and they both came to reading late, which stressed me out. I was so worried. But my oldest daughter, she's actually surpassed me in reading, like by a lot. So she reads better than I do. Her pronunciation is better than mine, and she's a faster reader. And the amazing thing is, when most kids are taught to read in school, they use a method that causes the child to actually, almost like when you're reading silently in your mind, you hear your own voice. That is actually a very slow way of reading. It's like when you're reading out loud. It is not as fast as reading at the mental level. And when one is taught to read in the correct way, then they don't have that, and they read so much faster. And so by God's grace, she has that. And I know this because I took a class, Quick Reading by Jim Quick. I highly recommend it. And so anyways, all this to say is today we're just doing this one verse. This is verse, chapter 2, verse, I think we're on 228. I'll make sure this, and I'm going to show you a method called chunking. Okay, this is something I learned from the Italian polyglot Luca. He's brilliant, and he also has wonderful language learning classes. Okay, so you will take where there's a permissible stop in a verse, right? I will always pause there. And then what I've done is I have it the Arabic with the English, because I'm actually trying to comprehend what I read, and inshallah, be able to, I want to actually even be able to translate this without looking at it, the Arabic into English and the English into Arabic as it is. That's part of his method, which is called bidirectional translation, so I'm also working on that. So there are 6 chunks, 6 parts in this one verse where there are permissible stops. So, and so some places I've color-coded it, right? So, wa and Allah, right? Azizun, mighty. Hakim, right? Okay, so it makes it, so my mind matches up and it's easier to remember. I also did that on the first sentence. But today what I did is that after Zuhr, I'm continuing to read. Like, I'm not giving up on reading because I want to complete the Quran, okay? I want to complete reading the Khatam of the Quran in this year. So I went ahead and I read 4 pages today. I set a timer because I wanted to check my reading speed, and I read 4 pages, mashallah. And I was like, yes, okay. So the point is, keep your habit. If you're doing a page a day, alhamdulillah, keep at it. Don't give up, keep at it. If you can go more than that, go for it. But keep at it, because it's beautiful. And there is a huge blessing and point in extensive reading of the Quran, where you just read it like that. Many tutors take it that way. They teach it that way so that the words become familiar, you become easier with them. Another method is intensive reading like this. And another method tutors do is they will literally stop you at every point. And that's the method I'm working on right now, so that it can be as native-like as possible. And it's just amazing about the Quran, and why when I think sometimes some Muslims kind of give up on themselves too soon, or where they have trouble with this, is that it doesn't matter what country a person is from or what language they speak. If they devote themselves to this, they can, everyone can read the Quran like a fluent, and better in some cases, better than fluent native Arabic speakers. I'm sure you've heard Indonesian qaris. There are qaris who are South Asian, Pakistan, Indian, Bangladeshi. There are American qaris. You meet people from around the world who are capable of sounding like a Sheikh Husari, Mishawi, etc. And that's just amazing about the Quran. And it's amazing about a person's dedication. So that's today. That's what I'm doing. So 1 page, which is not a page, 1 verse, 1 verse. But see how comprehensive 1 verse gives me 6 parts. So there is so much content here. There's so much to work with. And I'm going to read it through now once. And then I'm going to continue to work on it, slowing down, and working on the things that I was made aware of today, and do my best. Okay? So, A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim. Bismillahir rahmanir rahim. Wal mutallaqatu yatarabbasna bi anfusihinna thalathata quru wala yahilu lahunna an yaktumna ma khalaqallahu fi arhamihina in kunna yu'minna billahi wal yawmil akhir wa bu'u latuhunna ahaqqu bi raddihina fi dhalika in aradu islahan walahunna mithlu alladhi alayhinna bil ma'rufi walirijali عَلَيْهِنَّ دَرَجَةٌ وَاللَّهُ عَزِيزٌ حَكِيمٌ. Sadaqallahul Azim. And today what I learned and I'm trying to work on, I won't do it through this video right now because I think it'll make it too long. But trying to make my short vowels short and not elongate everything so much. And I think there were some places where the noon sakin rules came in here and the mean sakin rules, and I didn't catch them because this font where it's put in is a little different than the Qur'ans I use and the previous website I was using with the Qur'an on it. So I wasn't sure. I had some doubts about that. But anyways, Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen. Allah got it done, and I wish you a miraculous day.